What's good, bro? You don't want to miss this video because I'm about to show you the 2 secrets to keeping a woman sexually aroused long term. And this is not no cookie cutter ass fucking video. So if you're looking for some shit where it's like, oh my god, be exciting and juggle chainsaws in bed, this is not the video. Okay, so when I was a teenager and I first discovered seduction or dating advice or whatever the fuck you want to call it, naturally you go through progress. You learn how to talk to girls when you just socially get yourself out there, break out of your shell, talk to girls, and eventually you also read about sex because you want to lay the pipe down good. Ultimately, you're not trying to be there super smooth, and then when it gets to bed, you don't even know what the fuck to do. So, and another thing about dudes is we tend to have egos. A lot of dudes, you don't want to educate shit where we feel like we need to be good at that automatically. I didn't really have that fucking problem. I was like, man, I want the fucking extra edge. I was reading everything under the fucking sun. But one thing that I noticed about all these books when it came to like how to be good in bed and how to, do all this crazy shit is it did indeed teach you a lot of crazy ass shit. But the only problem I have with these books is that it gives you this bad philosophy. Again, it's a lot like the dating advice on the internet, or just when it first started, when the dating community first started, when it came to giving advice, it was all about the technique, but without no philosophy. So you're learning all this crazy shit, how to talk to a girl, how to do these routines and attraction and all this shit, but you don't have an overlying philosophy, which leads to motherfuckers just having a goofy ass mindset and just doing goofy ass shit without a real plan in mind. So what I mean by that is you read these fucking books and it always comes down to you all the time in a way where it's just annoying as shit. For example, you're reading a book and it's like telling you to kiss her down and go push pull back and forth, and each of these books, they're telling you to do crazy shit that requires a lot of effort, but they never frame it in a way where it's like ultimately real sexual arousal comes from the mental. It's not about having some bit don't get me wrong, the physical is necessary too, and it works and it's effective, but just lying a bitch down and doing a bunch of crazy physical shit, that's great, but it's all about the mental. The problem with these books is they give you this impression that, for example, you ever watch TV and you see these sexologists or whatever the case, or these relationship experts, when it comes to spicing up our relationship, it's always a matter of like, well, you want to introduce toys to the bedroom and vibrators and maybe role play and blah, 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 blah. They make it sound like, okay, to keep it exciting, you're going to do this one week, and then you're going to do that one week, and then you're going to do that this other week, and then maybe one week you're juggling fucking chainsaws on a midget, and the next week you're on a unicycle trying to get this bitch aroused. That to me was the biggest fucking problem, is because it had this, you get this mindset that in order for me to keep her aroused, every week I gotta think of some new shit, I gotta be doing some crazy shit, and it's all coming from this idea of you doing shit, you putting in the effort. And if you ever notice with women, they're most sexually aroused when they look up at a dude like he's the shit, and they're like in that moment where they're nervous. They're like, man, I gotta shave my legs, I gotta make sure I'm pretty, I want to get his approval, I want to please him, I want to make sure he's sexually satisfied. That's when women are going to be the most turned on. So if you're in a relationship and you're constantly doing shit for her, you're constantly, even though it might work, it's still setting the precedent that you're juggling, you're doing all this shit, and she's just sitting there like, wow, he's amazing in bed. That's great. Awesome. That's great for her. But what about you? What about the dynamic of the fact that it's not maintainable long term? That shit is fucking exhausting. So this week I'm supposed to role play as a student teacher, then next week I'm gonna fucking, all that shit is cool, but the problem is it's coming from this place of you performing. That's ultimately the problem, because the whole dynamic between male and female is constantly you performing. You perform to go up to her, you talk to her, you perform on the date for her to like you, then in bed you perform sex so that she enjoys the sex. Do you see the fucking problem with this? Do you think that long term that shit is a good idea? At the end of the day, you have a limited amount of nuts. This bitch has a pussy hole. She could get fucked all day, doesn't fucking matter. Your chi, your nut, that shit is important. Your effort, that shit is important. Long term, to constantly be the, because that's what we are as men. We're the givers. We give the compliments, we give the opener, we give the sex, we give our nut, we give our energy. Chicks, they just lying there like, oh yeah, yeah, I feel great. And it's like, what about you, motherfucker? That's ultimately, because if you're doing all the shit, you got to make sure you're good too. My biggest issue is that it does not come from the mentality of making her invest. That's the number one thing. That's one of the number one things to keeping shit going long term sexually, is making her invest, not having this idea that I gotta mix it up before she loses interest, and because just that mentality alone is like a scarcity mindset. It's a scarcity type mindset that you gotta do all this crazy ass shit, gotta be juggling baby midgets in the fucking bedroom. Doesn't make any fucking sense long term. It's not maintainable. Now, don't get me wrong, all that crazy shit is fine, but you want to do it from the mentality of her investing in you. Not, oh, we're gonna teach you role play. Are you interested in that, honey? None of that shit. You're doing it from the mindset of you're gonna be a good little student, and then you're gonna show me that you're good at role playing by being a good little student, by dressing up, by etc, etc, etc. You're coming at it from that kind of a mindset. Just the angle alone will save a lot of the headaches, because you won't be coming at things from the scarcity type performing mindset, which ultimately is going to drain you, and it's also going to make her lazy. That's another thing, is these books, they create a bunch of lazy ass bitches, because you're over here doing all this crazy shit, but they don't tell you how to make her do shit or how to make her invest ultimately, because that's how we get true gratification. A girl could get 89,000 orgasms, but if the bitch ain't do shit, if she's not mentally trying to prove herself, if she's not mentally on edge, it's like, what the fuck does it mean? She's just lying back, accepting shit without working for it. It doesn't matter what the fuck any bitch says. Ultimately, as humans, you really gratify shit when you work for it. That's another thing, is as men, we get raised so much to be the performers, so you gotta make her happy, you gotta be good in bed, you gotta give her that. It's all about you performing. And ultimately, when you get a chick, when you actually start to bring out that part of you where it's like, yo, I'm gonna be selfish, we're gonna think about my pleasure. You gotta reprogram your fucking mind to stop thinking so much about her pleasure, because when you pressing in shit on your pleasure, that's way more maintainable long term. I can't be over here making up role plays to situations that I'm not aroused by. If I want to fuck to big booty bitches all week, that's what we're gonna fuck to, and you're gonna invest in that way. You're gonna dress up, or you're gonna do whatever the case is, but it's not gonna be precedent on your fucking pleasure, because at the end of the day, you're the fucking man. You're the leader of the ship. She's here to be like your cheerleader and be like, yeah, baby. That's why girls are so good at support. Hell, I got a bitch, she's the shit. She plays games with me, which I find dope. Like, she plays online games, and when she plays games, she always plays a medic. Why? Because that's what bitches are good at. They're good at being medics. They're good at supporting you. So you have to give them roles. If anything, start to get more comfortable giving commands. Giving commands, first things first. Giving commands and being specific. Not trying to do shit all the time, trying to perform shit all the time. That shit is going to drain your fucking soul, and it's also just gonna get old for her too, because at the end of the day, if a bitch ain't putting in no effort, doesn't mean anything. 2, don't let your logical brain turn you into a pussy when it comes to the bedroom. Again, this comes down to what you get off to. You get off to something, so she's gonna get off to it. That's how it goes. That's how it goes in my philosophy. Here's the thing. If you're in a situation, you're with a girl, and you're with her long term, and you are in the mindset of, this is my girlfriend, I love her, I don't want to expose her to no crazy ass shit because she's not that kind of girl, or what I really think it is a lot of the time is, it's shame. Dudes, they go on porn sites. Let me put it like this. If you're in a relationship, and you are with a chick long term, and you're in the living room, in the corner, beating off to some crazy fucking porn, meanwhile, when it comes to sex with her, you're not fucking her to that crazy porn, or you're holding it back. It's like you're holding back that crazy part of you because you're just like, you don't want to expose that part of you to the chick, or you're scared, or you're over here beating off to big booty threesomes, but then when it comes to your honey, you're like barely willing to play the shit, or maybe you're wanting to play the shit, but you're not really gonna push on the idea as much. At the end of the day, fuck what a bitch thinks. Fuck what anybody thinks. You, whatever it is, do not hold back. Be the crazy motherfucker. Like, it kills me. It kills me to think someone, they're fucking their girlfriend, and then after they fucking their girlfriend, they go to beat off to the real crazy shit that they want to get off to. That's That shit is bullshit. That shit, it makes me cringe, because at the end of the day, bitches ain't serious enough for you to be there like, I don't wanna, fuck that shit. Fuck the bitch to whatever crazy shit you want. I guarantee you what's gonna happen is when she sees you aroused, she's gonna be like, wow, that's kind of crazy. I actually feel aroused just from watching him be aroused by whatever crazy shit. They're not gonna see the shit coming. Like girls, they'll say whatever when they're in a logical, unemotional state. Yeah, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. But let a sexy motherfucker that they're really into emotionally, deeply, get off to something, or just the image of them being aroused by something is usually enough for those girls to get aroused. And they'll be there like, wow, I didn't know I would get off to fucking lesbian, anal, fivesome shit, but now I'm over here and I'm like, wow, that's kind of hot. I kind of do want to put my tongue in some girl's booty hole. And now you're there with a chick that is down for a threesome, and if you had just held back, if you had just played it safe, you wouldn't even be in that situation now. You would be there having your friendly, nice little missionary or doggy style sex, and then going back to beat off to your crazy ass midget gangbang stripper porn, and now you don't want to be that person. Don't be that person, because I would probably bet that most dudes in relationships are like that shit. And I was always the type to be like, I don't give a motherfucker. What the fuck a bitch gonna say to me? What are you gonna say to me? Like seriously, oh my god, that's so crazy. Like bitch, show me your porn history, or show me your history on your internet tab, period. Bitch will never let you see that shit. So fuck it. Do not give a single fuck. The person who's the most liberal, the person who gives the least amount of fucks usually wins when it comes to this type of shit. And don't feel like you need to explain no type of shit. Don't say, oh my god, okay honey, tonight we're gonna fuck to some threesome porn or some shit. Just put the shit on if you want to put the shit on. If you want to watch the shit, put it on and fuck it to it. And if anything, say the shit while she's getting fucked, not beforehand. Don't have some logical discussion. None of that shit. Own that shit. If you are that motherfucker in her eyes, she will adapt. I'm telling you, that's their nature. That's our biggest problem with them, right? Is women, how they don't stay solid on one thing. They flip and mold emotionally, and it's exactly what there's a good and a bad to that shit. So you have to take advantage of the good side. The good side is that the bitch is gonna follow your lead when it comes to whatever the fuck. Like chicks will hide a body for me, or just, oh my god, do all types of crazy shit sexually, because ultimately they're like, yo, you're different from other dudes, and being able to not give a fuck is what's going to make you different from other dudes. Not only verbally, socially, sexually, everything, every fucking thing. When you own that shit, you hold nothing back, and you take no prisoners. What is she gonna say to you? Because what do women do to you when they want to attack you most of the time? Think about it. They try to shame you. So the moment you're just like, hey, I'm a crazy motherfucker, or whatever the case is, or I do what I want, and you're never gonna shame me. Hell, you shame me, I'm gonna laugh in your face. I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's so what happened. That's how you have to be. Once you take that shit away from them, they don't even have nothing to attack you with, because they attack people with shame because they feel they are so affected by public perception. That's why that's their biggest weapon, because they're self-reflecting what would hurt to attack them the most, to be shamed in public or whatever the case is. So when they try to shame you, that shit is, you take that shit away and they have no fucking weapons. Now this is a little off topic, but it all applies to the same general mindset, which is you not living for her validation, but instead flipping the tables and making her live for your validation. Because ultimately, if you're the captain of the ship, you're the leader, you're the guy, you're the hunter, you're the one killing cheetahs and tigers and lions to protect your fucking family, and then you go home and you're gonna beat off to the porn you're not gonna fuck the bitch to the shit you really want to. Come on, son. Come on, son. Come on. So if you enjoyed that dope ass video and you want to see more on dating, relationship, self-improvement, and motivational content, start now by hitting that button right there. Hit that bitch right there so you can join that Unleashed notification gang, bro, so you don't miss anything. So with that being said, gentlemen, unleash your best, and remember, until next time, confidence is bred by competence. Peace.